Hey, WWE. What the? Anyhow, I got all of that out. Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm here for my late live review of Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania from this past Monday, February. Wow, I'm botching already. April 8th, 2019. Just want to give you a heads up. I want to kind of rush through this review because, I'm on limited time. I have to leave in probably about a half hour, 45 minutes. Because I have a meeting tonight with a client, but I gotta get across town, so I'm leaving earlier. That way I can avoid rush hour traffic. So I'm kind of on limited time. So if I don't check in the live chat and respond too much in the live chat, it's not you guys. It's just me trying to get this done. And again, I still have to catch the highlights from SmackDown. I got home right while SmackDown was going on last night, so I still haven't been able to catch the highlights yet. So again, I will review SmackDown though when I get back from my meeting later on today, just to catch up again, and of course get the smaller shows and also whenever I can also. But yes, guys, what's going on? This is the Club of 1993, and I'm here for my live review of Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania 35, which of course I was in attendance live, and if I have my ticket, I can tell you which seat I was in. It's in here somewhere. Aha! Again. Nice looking ticket, of course, as always. I was in section 221, row 12, seat 13. It was like, like the stage was right here. I was like all the way up here, like right on the corner. Good seats, gotta say. Again, you will see the photos and videos that I took again in the WrestleMania documentary. I'm going to start working on as soon as possible and try to get that out in the next week or so to see my whole WrestleMania experience for sure, as it should be fun. We got Charlie Kelly. What's up, Charlie? Thanks for coming back to the stream again. What's up? And what's up, Mark? That was definitely a shock, but we also saw it with Taker as well. Again, guys, I will try to get your comments in the live chat again, but right now I'm just on very limited time. I've had a busy morning. Again, I have to get across town for that client meeting. So again, I want to get this review out there. So again, if I rush through it, that's why. So let's briefly talk about this episode of Raw. But of course, as I did before beginning, I just literally just like did an outburst and literally just put the microphone on mute because, man, like the Raw and SmackDown of WrestleMania. Again, I still haven't watched SmackDown yet. I don't know how good that or bad that show was, but for for the Raw and WrestleMania, like that's one show I am never afraid to really have my expectations high. Gotta say, this one was very disappointing. There was a few things I liked on the show, but definitely very disappointing and really bad ending to this show too. Like, what the hell was up with that ending? Like, it was literally just made absolutely no sense. I mean, I didn't watch SmackDown. Just maybe they explain why what happened, but I'll get to that at the end and explain that, and see what it is. So again, we'll talk about that. But again, let me just go through the show again. Again, I'm going to try to fly through this. Again, I'm on LTO, limited time, because I have to leave for a meeting about half hour, 45 minutes. But I'll still try to do my best to talk about the show. So we opened up with Seth Rollins coming out to, of course, thunderous "You Deserve It" chants for sure. Which, of course, I was chanting "You Deserve It." How no, we all deserve it. And how basically, he had to go through a big mountain in Brock Lesnar. And of course, he feels terrible because he feels he got hit by a truck, basically. Everything, all the punishment he took from Brock in the match. He basically, I know he said he had to take a little bit of a different route, but he said he did what Brock would do to him, basically. So kind of covers up, okay, he's not going to be, again, the nut slayer now or something like that, because he's been, striking Brock Lesnar in the balls for the past week. But then he says last he heard that Heyman and Lesnar were still headed to Vegas and they can stay there all they want, which of course we pop and cheer for them. And also mentioning he's going to be a fighting champion, which I thought, okay, he's going to maybe ask for an open challenge. He'll get like a match. Like some people say, maybe last night we'll get Adam Cole and Seth Rollins for the Universal title on the Raw after Mania. I mean, I don't think Adam Cole would have won, but would have been just a way for the Undisputed Era to make a statement. But instead, we're all surprised. Guess who shows up? Kofi Kingston, the New Day. I'm like, this isn't SmackDown here. But they come out and they acknowledge that, of course. But long story short, Kofi basically comes up to Seth and says, I had that little itch in that winner takes all match. And he basically lays down the challenge for Rollins and Kofi to have a winner-take-all match in tonight's main event. And Seth just says challenge accepted. So that's set up for a main event later on. So at first I'm just like, not ready to see them. I mean, again, I keep saying, that if they want to water down on titles, fine with me again. We don't need all these titles because one, it takes away from the non-title feuds, and two, it just, is an excuse to give the show like 4 or 5 more hours to it that it already needs to be, and it doesn't have to be that way. But so I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna set for something big. And I kept sitting there looking down my shirt, saying Undisputed Era, saying, maybe they're debuting tonight and they're going to, interrupt, have like a Nexus level, debut basically. Needless to say, again, I should not have set my expectations that high because I left very disappointed with the show. Especially the Raw after WrestleMania. Again, it was just awful. Well, again, it wasn't awful. There was some things I liked, but it was just a very disappointing show. It's a show that, really should be the best Raw of the year, and it was nowhere close to being the best Raw of the year for sure. So then we have Kurt Hawkins, and Zack Ryder, the Raw Tag Team Champions, coming out having to revive against the Revival, which of course, again, give praise to Dash Wilder for literally nailing. I got the name wrong when I said it yesterday. It's Zachary Madsden, the person who broke onto who just stormed onto the stage during a Hall of Fame ceremony and attacked poor Bret Hart, of course, which, of course, again, you'll hear me probably talk about that in my documentary when it comes out. But yeah, Wilder gave that idiot a big punch. I still got to, of course, update my list of Jericho for sure with some stuff from the trip, but still, again, it was an awesome trip, as I keep saying. But of course, my thing is, okay, but how did the Revival earn this rematch? Once again, aren't rematches supposed to be earned and not just handed out? But like, whatever, they had the match. It could have just had the match, on Raw, not at WrestleMania. That they were going to do this, but not a bad match. That was a little bit better than the match they had at Mania. But Ryder and Hawkins, retained. So okay, they're actually going to go with this and see what happens. So okay. We'll see what happens there. But my thing is now, Revival, get your butts over to SmackDown now. It's your time to go over to SmackDown now. Because I feel like, if the Usos are going to be, again, I have not watched SmackDown. I have no clue what the results were involving the Hardys and the Usos, apparently. The match we should have got at Mania. But I still want to see the Revival feud the Usos, so maybe they'll go over to SmackDown and fight the Usos for the Tag Team Championships. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So again, we had that match, and they won. Oh boy! Then we have Baron Corbin come out, who again, I don't get why he's being introduced as former this, former that, former this, former that, and Brooklyn's favorite son. Like, again, why is he being introduced as former this, former that? Didn't he literally rip on Kurt Angle for being a former this and former that? So why is he doing the same thing? It makes no sense. He comes out, of course, gloats about his victory over Kurt Angle. I thought it was going to be set up for some type of, surprise or something like that. Instead, though, out came Kurt Angle. I'm like, I thought you were retired. He comes out and basically says, you won. My career is over. He goes, so I wish you the best of luck. Goes in to shake his hand, and he just says, bad luck. Hits the Angle slam and gets in the tap out to an ankle lock. I'm like, if he was going to do this on Raw, why does have Angle win last night anyways? Still don't get why Kurt had to lose that match. Again, if this was, this was a Hall of Famer's career final match. It's supposed to be a celebration, not like a pointless storyline that's doing absolutely nothing for Kurt Angle and nothing for Baron Corbin. If when John Cena beat Kurt, it was a nostalgia act. It was still some way to be a celebration, but nope. So who knows? Maybe Kurt's going to show up again next week. Because afterwards, Kurt was still in the ring, and out came Lars Sullivan, who's finally debuting on the main roster, which, I felt after he wasn't, starting at first because of his panic attack or whatnot he had. I'm like, okay, maybe, they're just going to wait till Raw after Mania. So they did the right thing. I'm like, okay, so Lars Sullivan's on the main roster. Now he came out, and he basically hit the freak accent and a diving headbutt on Kurt Angle. Okay, good, impactful way to make your debut once again, but why is he doing it to a guy who's literally done? As far as we know, who knows? It could be saying he's done. He's going to show up for 5 more weeks till he's finally okay, I'm for real done this time or whatnot. Just WB never my foot's tangled in a cord or something down here. I'm good. WB again, you just you know, trolls around with all this stuff. It's like with Dean Ambrose going on with him, which of course gets that in a second. But so I mean, it was a good, impactful debut for Lars, but I wish he would have done what he did onto someone else and not a guy who's literally like walking out the door, basically. So Lars Sullivan's here on the main roster. Let's see what he does there. We then had Alexa Bliss taking on Bayley. Apparently, Alexa Bliss was calling out the Boss and Hug connection. And then also, apparently, there's rumors that Sasha Banks had a personal matter to deal with. That's why she wasn't at Raw on Monday. So it was just Alexa Bliss and Bayley, no Sasha. And it was this weird spot in the match where like Bayley was trying to pin Alexa, and she was holding onto the corner of the ropes. Like, I don't get why she did that, or she did that out of, you know, natural instinct or something like that. It was, I mean, that was strange. And but then Alexa Bliss, of course, you know, just didn't really do much offense. And of course, as usual, she wins with, I'm gonna start calling it the DDT out of nowhere, because like it won't look like she's gonna. I mean, it won't look like she's really get much offense in, but it's out of the blue, she'll grab Bayley and hit that DDT to get the win, like just most of her matches are. So she gets the win. So this felt kind of pointless. I'm not sure where this is going. I mean, if it's just to give, you know, Alexa Bliss a victory back, okay, but the right person to do it against was not Bayley. Like, why could he give it to, you know, Dana Brooke? Oh God, you know, we have to still talk about her in a second, because she had a terrible promo. We'll get to that shortly. But again, like, why couldn't, like, you know, Alexa Bliss pin Dana Brooke or someone like that? Why did she have to squash Bayley? It made no sense. Oh, she did take that nasty bump when, you know, Bayley did the kind of like, you know, her Karana sunset flip, like slamming Alexa into the second turnbuckle, which goes got cringe. Of course, Alexa, you know, has missed most of the past several months with concussion issues, I believe it is, and you know, I don't want to see her get hurt again, of course. So that happened. We had, of course, Becky Lynch come out and you know, just respond to, you know, what happened at WrestleMania, knowing how she just saying how, you know, she used to work at a bar not too far from, you know, Brooklyn, and of course, people start chanting Becky 2 belts, which is a hashtag trending now, which is awesome. She then, of course, you know, just puts down Ronnie and Rick Stoddard. You know, what they were saying for months, they're too strong. But WrestleMania, when all said and done, this woman who walked in with nothing walked with everything. She might be the strongest, fastest, or most athletic, but she does have a good theme song. Of course, we're all singing it and whatnot. She mentions leaving home at 15. And how does it be a master of one thing, is survival. She always persisted, and she overcame, and she found a way to win in the end. So whenever Ronnie's done sulking, the man will be here to slap her head off, because Ronnie's a little weirdo, as I enjoy her saying. And she says, well, for Charlotte, well, I'm sure the McMahons will hand her the tag titles or whatever soon enough, just because, you know, they feel bad for her, something like that. But she respects the roster coming for her. But remember, she's the redhead in leather with 2 shiny titles ready to slap the taste out of them. And as she goes to leave, guess who comes out? Da, 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 da. Lacey Evans. But this time, instead, she walks down and Becky gets in her face. Lacey turns around and goes to leave, and she punches Becky in the face, try using the women's right. But of course, Becky just like, you know, like, yeah, you can't. That's not the best you can do. And then she just ran down and had a nice, hot-looking brawl with Lacey Evans. And I'll give it, Lacey Evans, you know, looked pretty hot in that dress she was wearing. But it was a nice brawl. But I guess Lacey Evans is going to be the first person to feud Becky Lynch. Don't drop the titles to her, but all right, whatever. At least it's going to get Lacey Evans a quick coming out, just, you know, and leaving. Again, it's stupid. At least we're finally, you know, getting somewhere with that. But I don't know which branch she's going to be on, since Becky's probably going to be on both brands now, since she has both titles. So we'll see. So yeah, they brawl, but eventually it gets broken up before Becky's got to put the disarmer on her. Backstage, we have Seth Rollins being interviewed, saying how he respects Kofi, but he's also a little insulted that he got right in his face on his show. He knows what Kofi's capable of. He is an A player, but he better bring it, because B+ isn't going to get the job done. Boom. But then we have Aleister Black and Ricochet come out, and then apparently, which of course I couldn't see it because again I was you know, there at the show, but there was a picture promo of not Aleister Black, of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable talking about how they're sick of doing the right thing and getting back on top by any means necessary they're going to do. So it seems like they are going in a heel direction, even though again I didn't see that. And based off what happened during and after this match, I was a little confused by the heel turn, but I think after I saw a Fallout interview, I have a more clear direction where it's going now, of course. But basically, he's a heel turn. And the match that Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Aleister Black Ricochet had was pretty good. I thought it was. And then, of course, they won after Ricochet hit a code breaker on Chad Gable. But after the match, Bobby Roode came back in. And Bobby Roode, the past couple matches, has been showing frustration. But he comes in, he just, hits Ricochet from behind, just lays him out. He doesn't do anything else. He just hits him from behind and lays him out. And he pulls Chad out of the ring. Now, first to me, before I saw that there was a picture promo and the Fallout show interview, I thought maybe this was just Bobby Roode who turned heel. Because Chad Gable seemed like he was, just going along with what Bobby was doing, but he wasn't trying to, didn't seem like too heelish at first either, but I guess they're going that heel route, which, okay, Bobby Roode's a heel again as need be, but we'll see as a tag team if this is the right thing to go, because I'm starting to feel even as a heel turn is not going to save Bobby Roode at this point, but we'll see. But that happened there. Then we have Elias backstage saying that last night he had the greatest performance planned until John Cena ruined it by performing his rap music, and if you even call it music, but because tonight the McMahons have given him plenty of time to perform, his rock opera is going to show no mercy to any poor soul that interrupts him, no matter who it is. And if they do, they'll have hell to pay. I don't know about that. Of course, then we have some vignette of a rubber buzzard head popping out of a box and start laughing. I guess it's some vignette for something for Bray Wyatt, so we'll see how long that takes for Bray Wyatt to get here, but I guess he's going to repackage. But then we have Dean Ambrose come out. It was advertised to be Ambrose's final WWE match, which I have no clue that that's true or not, even though based off what happened after the show, which I'll share at the end. It was supposed to be against Bobby Lashley. Leo Rush and Lashley come out, but Rush has got no words on the microphone. But then, of course, Bobby Lashley starts talking. Oh, God, again. Bobby Lashley talking, of course, this makes me want to go, no, because he can't talk. Again, Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy, as we always say, which you'll be hearing that from me also in my little mini documentary once it comes out for my WrestleMania experience. But Bobby says, hey, Dean, don't worry. I'll take good care of your wife while you're gone. And then Ambrose just snaps and attacks. They start brawling with each other for a while. Ambrose is getting the upper hand on Lashley until they get up to the barricade. And, of course, Ambrose took out Leo Rush a couple times, which is pretty funny. But then he cleared the announce table, and then Lashley speared him. And then he choke slammed Ambrose onto the table. Renee just checked him out. So it's his last match, but then you still have him just, look like an idiot and just get, laid out again. I'm really not happy with how they're writing off Kurt Angle, and I'm also not happy with how they're writing off Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, for crying out loud, for 6 years was one of the biggest workhorses in the WWE, except for his, 9-month absence with his tricep injury. This man was a workhorse for sure, did a ton for this company, and this is how you're going to write him off? Makes me mad. Of course, after the show, they had, Seth Rollins. Of course, Roman Reigns came out also. Reigns was not on the show, but I got to mention this. There was a spot during the commercial breaks where they were showing the signs in the crowd, and they showed one time someone holding up a sign saying, is it too soon to boo Roman? And that was only for like a split second. I'm sure Vince McMahon's going like, oh, cut that shot. They'd be into a different shot. But that happened there. And then, of course, Ambrose came out and gave this little heartfelt speech about, Barclays being the first building where the Shield had their first match on the main roster, and whatnot, how appreciative it was to the fans, how, we don't make this, the building doesn't make the building, the fans make the building and whatnot. Just, thanks, this gives a little heartfelt speech. So, I don't know. Again, they could have done something a little bit nice, a little bit better, I felt, for Ambrose leaving. But, I just wish I just don't get what was the point of this match if it was going to have Ambrose being laid out. It didn't even look that convincing. That was again, McIntyre. The way McIntyre beat him in the Falls Count Anywhere match, so it was the perfect way to write off Ambrose. But who knows what the hell's going on here with it? So that happened, of course, there too. And of course, we see Sammy. It's good to see you again, buddy. Backstage as he's getting ready to make his return. Before he comes out, of course, we get Mojo Rawley yelling into a mirror again. Only this time, It's cracked, and apparently he's got a little bit of face paint on. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Mojo Raw at this point. He's, him screaming to a mirror is getting really annoying. But Sammy comes out, and yes, I did record myself saying, "Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy," when I was at Raw. He comes out and he says, "Why, hello." And he says, if you miss WrestleMania, you might as well come back the night after. And it might be hard to believe, but his schedule's wide open. He could really go for a match right now. So anyone who wants a match, come out. Basically, it's an open challenge. And out, of course, comes the man I wanted to see if he did come back for WrestleMania. The man I wanted to see him face at WrestleMania, even though, of course, this man was not Intercontinental Champion, though, until he beat Bobby Lashley for it. But I wanted to see Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. So Finn Balor comes out, and it's a Intercontinental title match. A good back-and-forth match. Like, a good, non-pay-per-view match, but I'm pretty sure you put these guys on pay-per-view, they will put on an excellent match. I can guarantee that for sure. Some good back-and-forth action. A couple of them I thought Sami was actually going to win, but he did not. So Finn Balor does win with the coup de grace. But when he leaves, Sami gets his microphone back and says he really thought coming out here would cure what ails him, but all it did was reinforce what he's realized over the past 9 months. It seems that we've missed him, but he didn't miss any of us. It turns out WWE is a super toxic environment, which, who said that before? CM Punk. And not because of the demands or the other WWE superstars, but because of this audience and their ugliness, which we're chanting, "We are ugly." He lives at a very meaningful and fulfilled life, but our lives seem so empty and devoid of meaning that we only get jealous and satisfaction out of being critics. He runs us down saying that we think we're the voice of reason, saying overnight we become the evil overlords of WWE, and all he cares about is doing what's right. And that's not to come back and save WWE or take it over. The right thing to do is to come out here every week and hold each and every one of us accountable, because nothing else will. See you in hell, and just drops the microphone, boom, whatnot. So, yeah, bold promo by Sami Zayn, just so establish that, hey, he's back as a heel. So, I guess he's the heel, Owens is a face. But again, for 1 year at least, keep these two apart. I mean, I'd rather have had seen Owens on Raw and Sami on SmackDown, but just 1 year, keep these two apart. I love both of them together, but they need a break from just lurching off the other. So give them a year by themselves and see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, then next year put them both back on the same brand. Of course, we'll see where it goes, of course. But so yeah, we got that. And oh God, we got this awful backstage promo with Dana Brooke. Another one of those promos where it's like she's trying to make herself sound like she's legitimate, but she's just not. And she literally sounded like she was literally like standing there holding like a script behind, the interviewer's ear and literally reading off what it was saying. I want to congratulate Becky Lynch on being a double champion. There is a line for me to challenge her. I can't say I'm in the front, but I am definitely not in the back. If there is an opportunity for her title and for her in a title picture, I am going to seize that moment. Like, she taught like a freaking robot. Dana, give up. I'm sorry. It just hasn't worked out. You trying to sound you're some, big underdog or whatnot. It feels forced. It feels like you're trying to force her honest to something like underdog now, and it's not getting me behind her. I don't care. How's she still employed? I'm sure, somewhere else was better. But again, you were called up way too soon from NXT. It was kind of bad luck, yeah, because they were trying to make a match with, her and Dana. Well, Dana and Emma were supposed to be their pairing up on the main roster, which could have worked out, but then Emma got hurt, and then you put them with Charlotte, and it just, did not work. So we got that. But then we had this segment. Elias was in the ring, complaining about being interrupted yesterday, and says that John Cena isn't an artist or a musician, but rather selfish, insecure, fake, humble piece of garbage. But in the spirit of Brooklyn, he's going to show everyone just how easy it is to rap. He doesn't need his guitar, and he starts playing a few bars in a very, white guy thinks rapping is easy voice, basically, as Kate Sidesy would say. Kind of the way of finishing up by saying, the next one who interrupts him is going to be a dead man. And like a couple seconds later, you got a dead man, all right, as the Undertaker would come out, which was a nice surprise. But seeing this segment, like, okay, I mean, again, John Cena coming out as a doctor of thugonomics was awesome at WrestleMania, but why couldn't that have been for Kurt Angle? And this would have been what we got at WrestleMania, even though it's starting to spend that people are going to think it's going to be Undertaker versus Elias at the next Saudi Arabia show, which doesn't really excite me at all because, again, I'm not watching the show. But he comes out, basically just lays out Elias. Okay? So I don't know if this a one-time thing or not, so we'll see. Then we have, oh boy. Again, as this show was very disappointing and just not that exciting at all at this point, we had this happen in our main event. I'm sitting there with my Undisputed Era shirt thinking, it's got to be the night. It's got to be the night it happens. It was my fault for setting my expectations way too high. I was hoping for a Nexus-type debut from the Undisputed Era. Boy, again, am I never set my expectations high again, especially for the Raw after Mania. Like, was there that? Well, we'll get to it first when I say it. So we started the match with Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston in a title-for-title match. Match was going all right. When all of a sudden we see somebody running through the crowd, and I'm like, here they come. Like, but it was only like, like 10 minutes to like 10 to 11. I'm just like, oh man, is this gonna be like a big long 10-minute brawl? They're gonna take out everyone. No, because it was Sheamus and Cesaro. SmackDown superstars are coming in the Raw, but why? They come in, they beat down on Kofi and Seth, and then Seth's like, because on my phone says, hey, how rude of you guys to do that. Kofi, you and I will finish this business some other time, but why don't we take out these guys together or something like that? And then they have this pointless tag team match just for them to win. Like, if it was like a Raw tag team, like, okay, maybe, accept a little more, but it was still pointless. You literally have your main event of the Raw after Mania is usually something to symbolize what's to come in the future. Instead, you brought over a random tag team from SmackDown to wrestle both your world champions. Like, we were pissed. We were chanting AEW, CM Punk. Well, I wasn't, but and everything. Of course, apparently Vince was turning the audio down very low on all of us when we were saying AEW. But Seth and Kofi win, and I just don't care. I did not care. It was just a flat ending. What a waste! It was just like, what was the point of this? What in God's name was the point of Sheamus and Cesaro interfering in this main event? This made no sense, and a very, very disappointing go home. Raw after Mania. C+ I gave. I mean, there was some small things I enjoyed, but most of this stuff just felt pointless. Didn't really need to happen at all. So C+. And that's me being generous. A C+ for the Raw and WrestleMania. Let's check the live chat real quick, and I gotta get out of here because I gotta get going. Let's see what we got here in the live chat. Surprise! What's up, Larry? Mark did not see Seth or Kofi losing their titles for sure. It was too soon. He's just a sexy Mike. Sexy Mike! Yes, I love that as well, Larry. What do you think about Dean leaving and Renee getting involved in the storyline? I think Dean, again, up until Fastlane, I felt that this could be a work, but I think Dean's gone for good. Well, I've heard rumors he may be just taking like a 6 month to a year break or something like that, but we'll see what happens. But I think for now, Dean's done. But we'll see what happens, of course, down the line. But for now, he's done. Unless he shows up next week and says it's all ruse. We'll see. But I was glad I was at least be there to see his farewell speech, though, whatnot. It was definitely a nice little speech that Ambrose made. Becky steals Goldberg's nickname and steals Charlotte again. Why? I don't know. I don't get why they were teasing another Bayley heel turn when they never follow through. Yeah, again, her grabbing the ropes was definitely strange. I don't know. Again, I don't know what's going on with it at all. I did a video where I talk about the fact that it doesn't make me happy anymore, and I will get away from it for a while, just so you know what's up. I need to check that out, definitely. I will follow everything that includes Lars Sullivan for sure. So excited that my beast is finally here. Again, hopefully main roster will not ruin him, but yeah, really, definitely, Larry, come back. Even if you want to come in just just for the fun of it, Larry, feel free to always come in, even if we're talking about wrestling. Always come in, Larry. Always appreciate your presence for sure. We'll check out that video. The tag match was stupid. Randy to Raw, Roman to SmackDown, Bryan to Raw, Drew to SmackDown, Usos to Raw, and Braun to SmackDown. Interesting. We'll see, of course, where that goes. I don't get why SmackDown started to shut up on Raw before the Superstar shakeup. Again, I don't either. Again, I did not watch SmackDown yet, so no spoilers there if anybody showed up, vice versa. So then why is this happening here? Is a brand split ending? I don't know. Is Dean going to SmackDown? As of now, I think he's leaving in general. Something to shut up Leo Rush. Yeah, Bobby Lashley loses to the Demon. Do you think Ambrose has really left? Again, I feel at least he's going to take a break. Like maybe 6 months to a year, we'll see him back. But I think for now, he's done. Put Bobby Roode back on SmackDown. Maybe. If he's a heel now, keep Charlotte on SmackDown. Yeah, we'll keep Charlotte and Becky separate. Well, for now, Becky's going to be, doing both brands until she drops maybe one of the titles or whatnot. Don't put AJ on Raw. I agree. If Triple H was in charge, he keep the brand pay-per-views. Yeah, again, I'm not for all pay-per-views being dual branded. I'm not for 2 pay-per-views a month, but I kept saying, why don't you give 1 month of Raw pay-per-view, next month a SmackDown pay-per-view, and of course, the big pay-per-views are dual branded and whatnot. That way, not every single show's 4 freaking hours. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree for sure, Tyler. Mark gave Raw a D. Take care, Mike. Hope I can join your stream again in your future. Thank you so much. See you later. Yeah, definitely, guys. Again, sorry I'm kind of rushing, but again, I got to check out. I got to head out. I got to get across town for a meeting. I mean, it's not for another couple hours, but again, I wanted to, get across town and avoid rush hour traffic. But I will come back up here later on to review SmackDown. And if I have time, any of the smaller shows that I didn't get to watch yet, if they're worth reviewing, I'll review those as well, get caught up. And of course, my top 10 special of the week will be my Superstar Shakeup predictions also, which I'll do probably sometime tomorrow night. But again, thank you for your patience, guys. And again, my WrestleMania Experience documentary will be coming out sometime in the next week or so. So, yep, guys. But thank you guys for joining me live, guys. What are your thoughts on Raw? Give it a C+. Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And make sure as always to click my like and subscribe or contact on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAirMiner3. And guys, I am out of here. I will see you all later. Till then, guys, have a great rest of your day and peace out, everybody.